Aberdeenshire, it was one of the many schools that were closed today. Now the weather is quite calm, and as of 4:30 we were told that 27,000 customers had their electricity restored. 16,000 customers they're still waiting to have their electricity reconnected, and we understand that some people, especially in rural areas, might need to wait more than 48 hours.
Lisa, thank you. The King has hosted a reception at Buckingham Palace as part of a drive to raise billions of pounds to protect nature. The event was attended by political and financial leaders from around the world. It comes after leaders at the COP15 Biodiversity Summit in Montreal set a target of protecting 30% of the world's lands, seas, coasts and inland waters by 2030. Here's our environment correspondent, Jonah Fisher.
They've come from the high Arctic.
For the last 40 years, Dave Painter has been watching the Bewick swans winter at Slimbridge. Unlike the swans who live here all year round, they each have a unique beak.
It's a fingerprint. We know every swan as an individual.
This year, 137 were counted at Slimbridge. Dave says in the 1980s, they'd see more than 3 times as many. It's one small part of the alarming decline of nature and wildlife around the world.
In some areas we've won a few battles, but when we look at the war, we really are losing.
At a summit in Canada last year, the world came together and agreed to protect 30% of our land and sea for nature, just like the wetlands here at Slimbridge. There were also big promises about money, billions of pounds to help nature and vulnerable species recover. It was seen as a possible turning point. But as always, with big promises, there are questions about whether they're going to be followed through. And that's why King Charles this afternoon hosted a biodiversity reception, bringing people together on issues he cares about, like nature, part of a changing role for a once outspoken prince. Indigenous leaders, politicians and business CEOs all came to Buckingham Palace after a meeting on finance in Whitehall.
I'm really pleased that we've been able to convene people from around the world, whether that be about ministers, about business, about people from finance, because we now need to get into delivery mode.
Your party's been in government for 13 years. Sewage is flowing into our rivers. Only 14% of England's rivers are rated as being of good ecological condition. Why should anyone take what you say seriously about protecting nature?
Well, we've come a huge journey about protecting nature. Our water is cleaner, our air is cleaner than it was before.
But sewage is still flowing into our rivers and seas.
But we're still making progress in that regard.
There's still so much to celebrate in our natural world. With money and commitment, there is still a chance that decades of damage and decline can begin to be reversed. Jonah Fisher, BBC News.
The Hollywood star Bruce Willis has been diagnosed with dementia at the age of 67. His family says he has a form of the disease which affects his ability to speak and write. Our medical editor, Fergus Walsh, reports.
Mayday, terrorists have seized the Nakatomi Plaza.
This channel is reserved for emergency calls only.
Do I sound like I'm ordering a pizza?
As a wisecracking action hero cop, the Die Hard films made Bruce Willis a Hollywood superstar.
Come out to the coast, we'll get together, have a few laughs.
But he gave up acting last year due to aphasia, a brain condition which made it hard for him to communicate and deliver his lines. Now, his family says the condition has progressed to frontotemporal dementia. A statement from his wife Emma Hemming, ex-wife Demi Moore and daughters from both marriages said it was a cruel condition which could strike anyone. Unfortunately, challenges with communication are just one symptom of the disease Bruce faces. While this is painful, it's a relief to finally have a clear diagnosis. Frontotemporal dementia affects the lobes at the front and the side of the brain and causes problems with language, behaviour and personality. It can lead to people acting impulsively or inappropriately. It's among the most common forms of early dementia. Most cases are diagnosed in people aged 45 to 65, unlike Alzheimer's, which usually affects older adults. It's a progressive condition, and currently there are no treatments that can slow it down. Specialists say tens of thousands of people in the UK are living with less well-known forms of dementia.
Yeah, this diagnosis draws attention to the many, many different forms, over 100 different types of dementia that are out there, and the importance that getting the right diagnosis has for finding the right support at the right time, meeting other people in the same boat, and getting to contribute to research efforts to really find a treatment for these different conditions.
Welcome to the party, pal!
Bruce Willis's family said continued compassion, understanding and respect would enable him to live as full a life as possible. Fergus Walsh, BBC News.
Weather now. Ben Rich is here. Hello.
Hi Sophie, thank you. Good evening. Storm Otto threw all sorts of weather at the UK today. Northern parts of Scotland, in fact in Aberdeenshire, we saw a wind gust of 83 miles per hour. But further south in Worcestershire, some mild air took the temperatures in Pershore up above 17 degrees Celsius. Very unusual for this point in February. There was Storm Otto, this swirl of cloud easing away northeastwards. There is another weather system here waiting in the wings. This one less potent, but it is going to bring rain for some of us as we head through this evening and tonight. Rain for Northern Ireland, parts of Scotland, then pushing southeastwards across England and Wales. And some snow developing over high ground in Scotland, and with that, the risk of some ice, because it will be quite a chilly night in the north of Scotland. But further south, an extremely mild one, 10, 11 degrees across southern parts of England and Wales. So into tomorrow, a band of cloud and patchy rain across the south. That will tend to clear. Another band of cloud and patchy rain across parts of Northern Ireland, southern Scotland and northern England. But in between and up towards the north, we will see some good spells of sunshine. It is going to be another mild day, 15 degrees there in Norwich, a little bit chillier across those northern parts of Scotland. So still some patchy rain across southern Scotland, maybe northeast England as we go through Saturday evening. But essentially Saturday night, with this ridge of high pressure, is a window of mainly fine weather. But then there is another weather system heading our way for Sunday. That will bring rain, particularly across parts of Scotland. Some patchy rain maybe for Northern Ireland, northern England. But further south, aside from some high cloud that could turn the sunshine hazy at times, it's a decent looking day. It is going to be breezy, in fact quite windy up towards the north, but another very mild day for the time of year. Highs of 10 to 13 degrees. Sophie.
Ben, thank you. And that is it from us. It's time now to join the nations and regions for the news where you are. Goodbye.
Thanks, Sophie. Tonight on BBC London. 11 lives saved in just 10 days. The incredible relief work done by London's firefighters in Turkey.
That first live rescue that we did within a day of reaching.
One connected with Manchester United and those who want to be. 10 p.m. tonight, that's the nominal deadline